Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the Based EDH podcast. I am your host, Tyler.
I am your co-host, Dakota.
And together we are at least 50% of functioning adults. We need at least two more idiots of our caliber to actually hold down a stable job.
Shout out to Doug and Kodiak.
Yeah, especially in this economy. Anyways, Dakota, how the hell are you, my dude?
Oh, you know what? I am doing good. Christmas just got over. God bless America.
Can I get a oh yeah?
Oh yeah.
Thank you. Yes, do not forget that Christmas is the celebration of Jesus, your Savior's birthday.
My favorite thing about people who hate Jesus is they're like, oh, Christmas was a pagan holiday that Christians took and made about Jesus. Yeah, get conquered.
Yeah, yeah. You know, you fuck around for too long. You want to fuck around? We'll take Toyotathon too. You're on thin fucking ice.
It's been good to be back.
Hell yes. I'm excited for this deck tech because I know how lit you have been because this particular card was one of my Christmas presents to Dakota. Not much of a surprise because he knew I was getting it for him.
Meg Christmas.
Meg Chrysler.
So that is obviously who the title of the deck that you can see is. It's Umbris, Fear Incarnate, I believe. Fear Manifest.
Yeah.
A man might know the own card of the deck that he wants to build.
Bruh, you put this together 20 minutes ago. The fact that it's a deck is just astounding to me. This thing is I just screen share the EDH rec page, not the Architect page. Anything beyond that is fucking NASA to me. So you're killing it. You're killing it.
This is the only commander that I thought was interesting from Crimson Vow, surprisingly, with how much I love vampires.
Yeah.
But Umbris Fear Manifest is 3 and Dimir for a 1/1. Wow, that's a shitty-ass rate.
Wow. Wow, sucks.
He gets +1/+1 for each card your opponents own in exile. And then whenever Umbris or another nightmare or horror enters the battlefield under your control, target opponent exiles cards from the top of their library until they exile a land card. This is very similar to the Mirko Vosk type effect.
Yeah, where you mill till you hit X amount of lands and stuff.
But this cares about anything.
Well anything in your deck because of the way you built it.
Yes. I had seen a lot of people build this deck as a Nightmare Horror Tribal, and I thought that's easily a way to build a deck.
And it's totally cool.
Very cool, very based, love it.
If you're gonna, this is the Nightmare Horror Commander right now.
I wanted to switch that up a little bit because the thing is I was seeing is that they became less focused on winning with Umbris and more winning with Nightmare or Horror Tribal or the exile way to kill.
Gotcha. So then how come it's Fear of Dimir Control?
Because it's Dimir Control, man.
Oh, damn. Daring today, aren't we?
There are I think I counted there are 15 total Nightmare or Horror cards in this library or in this deck. You're going to end up finding those. You're going to do it. But the deck is actually just a control shell that Umbris is your win con.
Yeah.
Umbris comes in for lethal commander damage because you're gonna kind of do this to everybody. You're gonna blink Umbris a couple times. You're gonna get some nightmare effects. You're gonna exile kind of from everybody. So eventually, he'll have no problem being a 20-20, 21-21. And the best thing about that is you can't stop making him be a 21-21 unless you just remove a player from the game.
Yep.
Because the cards stay in exile.
What are you gonna do to get stuff back from your own exile?
Are you gonna pull from the Eternity?
Are you playing Morophon 5-color colorless Eldrazi Tribal? Coming to a based EDH deck tech near you? I named it the Fine, I'll do it myself deck because I couldn't believe Dakota didn't build that fucking deck. Fine, I'll do it.
I kind of got the idea from this. I used to play with a guy in Grand Island who had a Chromium control shell. It was just Esper control. Chromium was the commander because it was a 3-hit. And I kind of got the idea from that.
Or you can suit him up and then, unblockable human his way through.
Even better. I'm saying a lot. I'm a shitty podcaster.
Bruh.
I wanted to figure out a way to kind of make that my own, and what a better way than a card I freaking love.
Hell yeah.
Umbris. And white is gay.
Well, Whitey's got to pay.
So to start the deck tech off, pretty simple. We got the ramp section. These are all your normal basic signets and Soul Ring, you're putting these in all the Dimir.
Yeah, this is a pretty competitive little package that you can put together in Dimir, keeping that ramp under 2, which is incredibly based, and the artwork is also incredibly based.
Talisman of Dominance,
easy killer,
is the most expensive card here. I think it's still about $5. Easy budget cut. This deck's not super expensive, but a card you can interchange for Dimir Locket if you needed to.
Yeah, or just a Commander Sphere or something like that. Arcane Signet might be a little spendy depending on what time of year it is. I think it's like $250 right now.
Yeah, it's pretty cheap.
It's in the Soul Ring range.
Yep. I think they're going to be kind of intertwined forever, because if they print a Soul Ring, they're kind of printing an Arcane Signet at this point.
Now listen, I might be upset at Wizards for ever making Arcane Signet a thing, even though it helps, like the mono white player that I truly am, to get a good ramp package. I was really mad at Wizards for printing that thing, because I thought it was a cash grab. Oh, let's print this super powerful card and everybody will buy our Brawl decks. But they did come through, and they've been printing it a lot.
They have.
So I'm gonna Wizards, again, you're on thin fucking ice. But you did good on that one.
Remember when people were spending $50 on Brawl decks just to get a copy of Arcane Signet?
I remember selling my Arcane Signet for $20 and paying for my Corvold deck.
Base!
Free Corvold. And now Corvold's like, what, $12?
Right.
Jeez.
So, Thought Vessel, pretty basic. It gives you no maximum hand size, which in a control shell, you're going to end up being drawing more cards than you need, because you're going to be draw-going people.
Yep.
Not to sound like a faggot.
Okay. And Sword of the Animus, that's not a bad card either, especially when we're not running green. Slap it onto one of the cheaper horrors you can find. There's no shame in dropping a quick one before you get Umbris out. And then just go get yourself some lands tapped.
This deck focused very heavily on artifact ramp, so I wanted ways that in case somebody did Castlevania Blast, you wouldn't be totally fucked.
For sure.
So Sword of the Animist, and it's never been cheaper. I still think it's like $7.
Yeah, because it got reprinted in the Bant equipment deck,
which apparently people are loving that more than I thought they are.
It's it's fun. I played it.
I mean, I guess.
I was surprised.
It's kind of basic. It's kind of gay.
I was really looking forward to the other ones out of that set, but it was fun.
These are more of the spicy ramp options. Honored Heirloom just came from the set. I think
never seen this card before.
I think it's kind of an underrated card from the set. I think it's kind of fun flying under the radar. It's not spectacular, but slapping Graveyard Hate on an artifact, it's kind of cool.
Yeah, you can keep it. Well, it keeps your opponents on their toes, because let's say they're trying to reanimate, and you've got an Honored Heirloom and 2 mana up. Well, now you don't have an Honored Heirloom. Now you have a counterspell.
Right.
Basically, because you're stopping their reanimation. Oh, we got to talk about this point.
Buckle
the fuck up. We got to talk about Oblivion Sower.
Now, Tyler, if I said I put a 6 mana ramp spell in this deck, what would you call me?
Crazy, outlandish, bizarre.
That's fine until all of a sudden you've exiled 20 cards from your library. And next thing you know,
a third of those cards are lands.
And you just get 7 lands on the battlefield,
Darn tootin'. Put them 7 lands on, baby. Or more.
This card is great because it says target player, so you know what cards are in exile, so you can choose whoever the best is. It doesn't just say some random or anything like that. So after you cast Umbris, you know, okay, this guy has 5 lands, this guy has 4 lands, this guy has no lands. Because picking 5 land guy, you know you're at least getting you're potentially getting 6, 7, 10 lands from this card.
Yeah, super awesome card. Don't forget to run Oblivion Sower in your Italy the Primal Storm decks. That's my soapbox.
Also, yes. Now we're at the crux of the deck.
Oh.
Yeah. This deck is, like I said, Dimir control. We have about 13 single target removals, 12 single target removals options in here.
But it's going to be fun, right?
No, this is a very hard deck for me to build because I hate fucking control. But I didn't see any other way to make Umbris work than just a control shell.
Yeah, I mean, you kind of got to play into your strengths.
Mind Flayer and Chittering Harvester, 2 fun nightmare and horror cards. When Chittering Harvester mutates, this creature, each opponent sacrifices a creature. There's 3 mutate cards in here, 2 mutate cards, so you can potentially trigger that more. It's just a fun little sub-theme.
I want to detract really quick. On the topic of this deck being fun, in case you thought that was a dead serious moment, fuck you. Because we are playing Horror Nightmare Tribal. And if your play group doesn't think it's fun to play against Horror Nightmare deck with a control shell,
fuck them.
Fuck them. Fuck them right. Well, no, I don't want to get too crude, but fuck them right. God damn it, Dakota. Yo.
Mind Flayer's pretty lit. I ended up pulling a man. I cannot stop.
Dude, are you
struggling.
Are you like too excited about? Because this is Dakota's deck tech. He's been lit for this for like 3 weeks, and we finally got it put together. So have some goddamn patience with him. Do we need a drink? Do I need to go like get us a drink? Hold on. You keep this shit going. I'm getting us alcohol.
Okay. Mind Flayer is a card I actually pulled the showcase art from in AFR. Pretty cool. He's the Sower Temptation-esque effects. When he enters the battlefield, gain control of target creature for as long as I control Mind Flayer. Pretty cool. Steal their best creature or their utility creature.
I don't think that mojitos are a gay drink.
Thank you, Tyler. A couple other fun cards. Ravenous Chupacabra. Extremely cool. Very awesome card. ETBs, destroy target creature and opponent controls. It's a horror. They're actually like $3 or $4 for some stupid reason. It's an uncommon out of Ixalan. It's started to get reprinted a couple more times, so that price will hopefully drop. Pretty based. And so not only are you exiling, milling stuff, you are also destroying something. Sludge Monster, 3 mana for a blue. When it enters the battlefield or attacks, put a slime counter on up to one other target creature. Non-horror creatures with slime counters on them lose all abilities and have base power and toughness 2/2. You got an Emrakul. That's nice. It's a 2/2 non-horror creature. It keeps the creature types. You got a Phyrexian Obliterator. Nice try. It's a 2/2 with base power and toughness 2/2. That's it. The best part about Sludge Monster is a lot of cards like this, and the older ones were made so that way it only put the counter on it when it attacked, which is very, very slow. The nice thing about this
is an ASMR channel now.
With the fancy juice glasses from your grandmother.
Yeah, my grandma gave me juice glasses. She's like, yeah, I have these old juice glasses that you can have. And I took one look at these. These are whiskey glasses, which is awesome because I don't have any whiskey glasses. Also, I can't get my flask open.
Maybe we're not drinking.
Yeah, maybe we're not drinking. Maybe we don't deserve it.
Tower, you cannot leave me again. This was a struggle without you.
Oh, my bad. I leave for 2 minutes. He's trying to put 4 ravenous chupacabras in. He can't be stopped.
So the nice thing about Sludge Monster is Wizards are starting to change it to where they're saying, okay, let's do it when they enter the battlefield and attack. They're finding more opportunities to make effects like this happen. Because if you spend 5 mana and then the next thing you know, it's destroyed before it goes up to your upkeep and you just don't get to make something a 2/2 for very long.
Yeah.
And unfortunately, if Sludge Monster, I believe Sludge Monster activates the ability of the slime counter. The slime counter itself does not make them the 2/2s, which is a little unfortunate. It would be cool if they weren't, but Curse of the Swine 2XX, or it's just 2X.
I got the flask open.
Based.
Are you taking a drink?
I'm taking a little bit of a drink.
Yeah, we're gonna have to get some of that. Give me that good shit right here. I'm a fucking goblin.
We are so unprepared.
Dude,
you're gonna probably end up drinking some of this.
That's okay.
So it says exile X target creatures. For each creature exiled this way, its controller creates a 2/2 green boar creature token. And then Ashes to Ashes is one of my favorite little.
Oh, that's a good. Hey, hold on. Cheers. Good shit.
Favorite little deck. Or favorite little spells that I found by hitting random on Scryfall.
Oh, hell yeah, dude.
1 black. Exile 2 non-artifact creatures. Ashes to Ashes deals 5 damage to you. You take 5 damage and you get to exile 2 creatures for 3 mana in black.
And you get to just pretend like there's artwork on there, too.
Yeah.
Yeah. And by the way, we talked about net decking last episode, and we told you not to be ashamed of it. However, I'm changing my stance. If you are building your decks like off of EDH Rec and just taking it card for card, and instead you are not going to Scryfall and pushing random cards until you find 99 cards to go in your commander deck, then what kind of Magic player are you? Next slide.
Epic Downfall, 1 black, very efficient rate. Exile target creature with CMC 3 or greater.
Based.
What are you going to exile for CMC 2 or less? That's going to cost you the game.
Grizzly Bear.
I stand corrected. Next card.
Deadly Rollick. So this little bastard is gonna be a bit spendy because it's one of those free cycle of cards we got back in Ikoria.
I think it's $8 or $9.
Is it? Okay, that's not as terrible as I thought because I know Fierce Guardianship, its blue counterpart, is like what? Still 40? It's held at 40.
Free counterspell, yeah.
Free counterspell. It's going to hold at 40. Anyways, you control your commander. It's free, and it just says exile a creature at instant speed, baby. Let's talk about Feed the Swarm.
This is one of the only non-exile cards, and also one of the few only ways to destroy an enchantment.
That's right, baby. That's right, because we're in black, and we will take what we can get. I think there's some permanent removal.
You got to do Unstable Obelisk.
Oh yeah. Is there really not that much artifact enchantment removal in blue?
Not really. Counterspells, man. That's about it.
I guess I can't really think of any off the top of my head.
Feed the Swarm. Destroy target creature or enchantment an opponent controls. You lose life equal to that permanent's mana value. You make do.
Cool. And if you know of any blue enchantment removal cards,
put it in the deck. You're better than us.
Yes, or put it in the comment section because I can't think of any and I'm too lazy to check. So please help me be a better Magic player.
Yes, we are good YouTubers. Put it in the comments.
No, we're not. We're not good YouTubers. We're just two assholes that have a computer.
Yeah.
Reality shift.
These are all cards that essentially do the same effect, which is exile target creature, in some cases artifact, and then it replaces it with another creature.
Yep. So,
Resculpt is the most dangerous out of them, but I'm willing to risk exiling even a...
Would you like to deal with
think of just a basic creature.
Grizzly Bear? This is actually, so if you're playing the Simic deck where you have bears in it, definitely resculpt your Grizzly Bear as a combat trait. When you're blocking, you can't do it when you're attacking, of course. But yeah, that's the secret tech. You're gonna see that on EDH Rec. The EDH Rec cast, they're going to be talking about resculpting their Grizzly Bears.
And they're going to have to shout out us.
Yeah, they're going to have to shout out us. Yeah, we found these two assholes.
Their production quality is very ass.
Yeah, they've got 4 subscribers. I think 3 of them are people in the show. Yeah, but dude, a lot of people kind of like to shit on blue for its removal. Blue's got some of the best removal.
Blue is very much warped the color pie of taking exile
for sure, especially this Raven form with just being able to blast an artifact. But hey, all of these say get rid of that Blightsteel Colossus, get it out of my fucking face, and don't even mention it around me again.
Board wipes.
Yeah, we got them.
They exist. There's not a lot of them because this is much more of a single target.
We're so fucking excited. Hit that shit.
These two are 2 of the only exile board wipes, and I think the only 2 exile board wipes in black. Nightmare Making, 3 black. Choose one. Exile each creature with power greater than the number of cards in your hand. Exile each creature with power less than the number of cards in your hand. Not only are you playing control, where that naturally lets you draw a lot of cards.
We are in very good drawing colors.
You're also playing a commander who's going to get very large. Ooh. So realistically, you're always kind of just choosing that second option, and your Umbris is staying on the board, and theirs are getting wiped.
Yep, I can see that. Extinction event. So for 1 mana less, you pick odd or even. Exile each creature with CMC of the chosen value. And in the little reminder text right there, 0 is even. So if somebody's got, I don't know, Darien King of Keldor and 21/1 soldiers on the battlefield that are actually like 5/6 double striking soldiers, not that I would know an asshole that did that, then you can get rid of all of them for the low cost of 4. And it doesn't have to break the bank like a Damnation.
Correct.
Also, backing it up. That is some awesome fucking artwork. Don't at me. Next slide.
Navindriel's Disc is one of the other ways.
Shit, Dakota. Did you just say that right on your first try?
Yeah.
God damn. I thought I'm going to need more fucking alcohol for this shit. God damn. Holy fuck.
Enters the battlefield tapped, destroy, and then you can pay 1 and tap it, destroy all artifact, creatures, and enchantments. One of the other ways to destroy enchantments.
Heck yeah, dude, we got there. Full circle. Let's go.
Phyrexian Scriptures, it's 2 black for a saga. Put a +1/+1 counter on up to 1 target creature. Yep. I wonder which one we're going to choose.
Yeah.
It becomes an artifact. Destroy all non-artifact creatures, and then exile all cards from all opponents' graveyards.
Yeah.
These 2 are what I would consider slow board wipes. They're going to see it coming.
Yeah.
The nice thing is they're seeing it coming, so they're not going to run out, Metalwork Colossus into this deck. They're not going to run their Hellkite Tyrant out into this.
And they have 1 turn to deal with Navinriel's Disc.
Otherwise, you just hold it on top of them.
That's right. And when they go to target it, and I don't think there's any split-second artifact blasters.
There's Crossing Grip.
There's Crossing Grip. There is So I guess you can watch out for that.
I don't know if you guys have ever seen It's Always Sunny in Philadelphia, but there's a moment where Mac and Charlie go to protect the school. Charlie has a gun, Mac has a sword, and Charlie's just sitting there pointing the gun at Mac the entire time as Mac tries to talk about how great he is with the sword and he can dodge bullets.
What?
It's kind of the same thing. You're just pointing a loaded gun at everybody. They're trying something. Click, you're dead.
Which resonates heavily with me because I've been playing a shit ton of Red Dead Redemption 2.
Also known as a Cowboy Waifu Simulator.
That's exactly right. So we got to pause real quick. So when Dakota plays Red Dead Redemption 2, it is a mass murder simulator.
Yes.
When Kodiak plays Red Dead Redemption 2, it is what we like to call hunting simulator. When Tyler plays Red Dead Redemption 2, it is gambling simulator. Yo, there's a whole cowboy game outside of my poker video game I bought. Let's go, baby. Let's go. Flood of Tears for 6 in blue. Return all non-land permanents to their owner's hands. Now, if you happen to return 4 or more non-token permanents you control, it's you control, so you probably will. Then you could put a permanent card from your hand on the battlefield. Which permanent are we putting on the battlefield?
Umbris.
Bruh.
The nice thing is that the reason why this card's in here over some other was like Cyclonic Rift and everything is you want to be able to reactivate Umbris.
Yes.
So you return your Ravenous Chupacabra to your hand.
Yeah.
You return your Yarlox Fenworker to your hand.
Oh, I love it.
And then you can just get to recast them.
Yep.
And then you exile and
you don't have to recast Umbris.
Exactly.
Important, which is, I mean, he costs like, what, 5, 6? Yeah. Can't remember.
And he doesn't say cast, he says enter. So
let's go, baby.
Yeah. Counter spells. This is basically could also be called single target removal. It's just kind of way cuntier.
Yeah. Hey, fun fact about that word. Did you know that Rockstar Games will not let you name your horse Cunny in Red Dead Redemption 2? Apparently Cunny is a bad word.
I'm gonna need a moment.
Are you good? Hold up, I'm lifting the mic. I'm following him. Dakota, can I keep it real with you for a moment here? I gotta keep it 100 with you. I always assumed Cunny meant what I think it means now, but it wasn't until I tried to name my horse Cunny that I confirmed what the fuck that means.
Welcome to Umbris, Fear of Cunny.
Oh fuck, should we name it that? Oh fuck.
We got the deck.
No, we can't do it. Nobody's gonna fear of people, take a look at the picture on your screen. This is what Zero Pussy does to an N-word. Fear of Cunny.
Why is our YouTube video not getting any clicks, Tyler? Because nobody's typing in Umbris Fear of Cunny, you retard.
Because the videos only get shared on iFunny and the radical right groups, the subsects of iFunny. Umbris Fear of Cunny. Look at this one. This dude's like, this is the guy. Umbris is the guy that pulls up. He's looking for his past schoolmates' OnlyFans. Oh, can I get 1 crumb of pussy, madam?
No, it's okay. 18-year-olds are perfectly capable of selling their body.
Real shit. I fucking hate pedophiles. That's
Thank you, Tyler.
This isn't a fucking joke.
Fear of pedophiles.
This isn't a joke. This is a public service announcement.
Umbris Fear of Tower. Point of view, you are a pedophile.
Point of view. You're about to meet a sawed-off shotgun. Next slide.
So Arcane Denial is the only counterspell I don't feel like.
Are we gonna be able to upload this shit?
Yes.
We've gotten so far off of.
We're too far.
Yeah, we're too deep now to pull out.
Arcane Denial is my only counterspell that doesn't make me feel like a cunt when I use it.
Yep.
1 in blue, counter target spell.
Spell swindle.
Its controller may draw up to 2 cards at the beginning of the next turn's upkeep. You draw a card at the beginning of the next turn upkeep. Counterspell, it's classic.
What the fuck do you think it does? What the fuck do you think it does? Counterspell. It's like that card Skeleton Archer. What the fuck kind of creature type do you think it is? Let me give you a clue. It's not a Kevu.
Negate and Counter Squall both essentially do the same thing. They counter target non-creature spell. Counter Squall is kind of a cool little card. I'd never really seen it before. I don't know how many decks
it's cool. In this deck, it's like comparable to a Negate, I guess.
Yeah.
But I mean, you gotta.
It's a little bit harder to cast. But
worry a little bit about having the right mana, but we're gonna fucking get it, bro. We're gonna fucking hit that shit. Dissipate. You pay 3. You counter target spell. If you counter it, exile it instead of putting it into its owner's graveyard. Boom. Strict upgrade to cancel. Let's talk about disallow. Disallow these nuts. 3 mana, instant. Counter target spell, activated ability, or triggered ability. That means that you can counter Planeswalker loyalty abilities. Mm-hmm. You can counter Venreal Disc's activation. You can counter your parents' divorce. You can counter just about everything, but it'll still be your fault. Next slide.
This is a little subsection. This all has to do with discarding.
Oh, yes, the Umbris Fear of Discord. Kitten, please make sure to answer your direct message on Discord. You are making Daddy very angry, and I would appreciate a message on Discord when you have the moment, please, Kitten.
Yeah.
Yarok Spendlurker, bro! Look at this fucking dude!
What creature type is Yarok Spendlurker?
Horror.
Yeah, so when he enters the battlefield, if Umbris is out, not only is somebody exiling the top X cards of their library, where X is the number of cards until they hit a land, they also, each opponent exiles a card from their hand.
That's so 2 mana good!
To giving Umbris +3/+3.
That's so good for a 2-drop. I can't believe somebody was sitting back in like late 2019 when this card came out thinking, oh yeah, people are going to put this in the Yarok deck. No, this dude knew Umbris was coming out 2 years later, and he was like, honey, you've got a big storm coming. Mindslicer.
Mindslicer is a very mean 2 black. When it is put into graveyard from play, each player discards his or her hand. He's a 4/3.
He's also he looks like a fucking Garchomp, but what Zero Pussy does to a Garchomp.
Tyler, we're off the board again. Oh, dude. The best part about Mindslicer is he is a board wipe protection.
Yeah.
He is saying, go ahead, board wipe me, cost your fucking hand to do it. I have 4 horrors out, you're really scared of them all? Fuck you, do it, pussy.
Board wipe me, coward. Board wipe me. And then we'll scavenger grounds it later. Fear of Mill?
This section really only exists for 1 card.
Oh, is it actually just 1 card?
Yo,
it's a fucking boy,
baby!
There he is! We got there! Love the Consuming Aberration! Let's go! Gonna hit a home run! Gonna hit 1 shot, baby! That's all about the Consuming Aberration, baby!
Unironically, one of Dakota's top 2 favorite cards in Magic
What's the other top 1 card?
It's Gitrog.
Oh, yeah, I knew. You do love Gitrog, don't you?
Love Gitrog.
The only bad thing about Gitrog is that you can't have Consuming Aberration in the fucking deck.
Didn't we build a Gitrog deck?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was like our only good Gitrog. It was like our only good deck tech.
What was the focus of that deck?
I think it was hating on Wizards for trying to be woke and retarded.
That's fair. Again, shout out to whoever turned the Gitrog monster into Pepe eating the faggot.
Nico Aris.
Based.
Incredibly based. Hey, cheers. I'll drink to that, bro. Yeah, this is to you.
Anyways, Consuming Aberration is a kind of a mini Umbris. Its power and toughness are equal to the number of cards in your opponent's graveyards. Okay. Whenever you cast a spell, each opponent reveals cards from the top of his or her library until he or she reveals a land card, puts those cards into his or her graveyard. This bitch can get, technically, I don't know what 99 times 3 is, but it's like pretty big.
It's at least 80.
It's at least 80.
Yeah.
I think the biggest I believe I've had him in the hundreds before.
Oh, I've definitely seen you have him in the hundreds before. The only unfortunate thing is he dies to he dies to a fucking murder.
But you know what? No, he does not die to a murder because he's
murder destroys target creature.
You know what? It's something that's not killing Umbris.
You're goddamn right. Next slide. Okay, you're gonna have to tell me about. I know about Tasha's, but what's this Pyxis of Pandemonium? Tell me about this.
Pyxis of Pandemonium is a 1-mana artifact that says tap it. Make Umbris +3/+3 every time.
Really?
It says each player exiles the top card of his or her library face down.
Whoa,
so
boy.
You activate that turn 1, Turn 1 you activate it. Turn 2 you activate it. Turn 3 you activate it. Turn 4 you activate it. Turn 5 Umbris activate it.
Yep.
That's 5 times 3. He's a 16/16, just like that.
Holy smokes. Okay, and let's talk about pay 7, tap it, sacrifice it. Each player turns face up all cards he or she owns, exiled with Pyxis of Pandemonium, and then puts all permanent cards among them onto the battlefield.
It could be a fun late game play.
That sounds like a lot of fun. I think we're just here for the top one. Huh?
You're here just for the top one, baby.
You know what else I like about this? That it does say exile them face down, which kind of is a pain in the ass when you have an exile pile. But it's also funny because it's like,
what's fucking under?
What's under there? What is it?
Right.
I gotta know. And it fucks over the combo players, but fuck them. You know.
The other good thing about this, we have somebody in our meta who likes to use tutors.
Oh, yeah.
Fucking tutor. Go ahead, put that card on top of your library.
Put it on top.
Cast that vampire.
Put it on top.
Cast that vampire tutor. See what happens.
Hey, you know that's a nice fake grim tutor. Nice fake vampiric tutor. That's a nice what blah 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 you got.
That's a nice.
It'd be a shame if somebody used a 25-cent rare from Theros Beyond These Nuts. Tasha's Hideous Laughter. So I have recently come to learn that this is an absolute motherfucker of a spell in actual D&D. D&D what, Dakota? D&D's nuts. It's a sorcery for cancel magic, baby. And in case you weren't aware, because you don't use the awesome card cancel, it does more than just pretend to be important on Twitter. It costs blue 1. Each opponent exiles cards from the top of their library until that player has exiled cards with total mana value 20 or more. Holy shit. We got to talk about something, Dakota. Magic has been getting a lot faster these last years.
Most people build their decks a lot better than we build ours.
Tasha's Hideous Laughter does not do nearly as much damage to Tyler as it does the fat neckbeard at the LGS.
Correct. You could easily exile 10 cards.
Yep. That's big. Opponent. That's big. And
those
so,
just stay there.
Congratulations.
Permanently a one shot.
Realistically, you just made Umbris a 31/31 by paying 3. Eat your heart out, green, for that ramp or that boost up in power.
Fear of graveyard hate.
Dude, I don't fear the graveyard hate. Nah, actually, I kind of do a little bit. I have one deck I like to play with the graveyard hate.
There's only 2 of them. Because I didn't think graveyard hate was necessarily that much important because you're not really sending a lot of shit to the graveyard. You're sending a lot of shit to exile.
But isn't there more than this? Didn't we talk about like a whole little package off to the side? Or is that not in here?
And that's this.
No. What about the other one?
What was the other one?
The scavenger grounds.
Oh, well, okay, there's...
Oh, okay, we haven't got to there yet.
Yeah.
I'm going to shut the fuck up and drink this goddamn screwball. Let's go.
Soul Guide Lantern, it's a very expensive uncommon. It's like anywhere from 2 to 5, depending how gay your LGS is.
Yeah.
1 mana,
which is usually
the battlefield, exile target card from a graveyard. Understand. Tap it, exile each opponent's graveyard. Or 1 tap it, sacrifice it, draw a card.
Cool.
Yeah. Relic of Progenitus is expensive. If you're like me and have a connection who doesn't check his card prices and sells it for $2, pick it up for $2.
Yep.
Otherwise, it's $7. You want to cut it out and put like a Sentinel Totem? Understandable. You can tap it. Target player exiles a card from his or her graveyard. No pronouns here. You pay 1, exile it. Exile cards from all graveyards. Draw a card.
Yep. And just public service announcement. It might be worth it to just remember these kinds of cards for any deck, depending on your meta. Because graveyards, so many people just see it as a second hand because it is.
Yep.
Because it fucking is. So it might be worth it to run this guy along with your Bajuka Bogs and your Scavenger Grounds and your such and such.
I have, 50 decks, I think is the last time I counted. 43 decks. I had 43 decks.
43 fucking decks?
Yeah, I have a problem.
And
imagine how good they would be if I sold half of them and put it all in the mana base of the other decks.
Bruh. You could pay for the other half of the Mustang I'm trying to buy.
My decks are worth $20,000.
Bro, I'll tell you what, we may not know much about this game, but we know how to spend our money like
on it.
Retards.
And I've only been playing. I've spent on average $5,000 a year on Magic.
Bro,
I've been playing Magic for 4 years.
And we haven't even been drafting, or we haven't even been buying that much sealed product.
No.
I bought a box of Commander Legends so we can draft. First sealed product I've bought in almost a year.
Right.
But even then it was I'm not even buying these to crack. I'm buying them because I want to draft.
Fear of draw. Who's fearing the draw? Your opponents, because they're gay.
Yeah, that's right. And we're quick on the draw, just like Arthur Morgan. Blue Sun's Zenith. And yes, it is Zenith, you fucking Brits. And there's no such thing as Great Britain because there's nothing great about it. Go fuck yourself. It is just Britain, or as I like to call it, the rainy little socialist isle that took second place. Hashtag go George Washington. Blue, 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 and X for an instant. Target player draws X cards. Usually it's at least one. Shuffle Blue Sun Zenith into its owner's library and then go fuck yourself. Next card.
Nice thing about Blue Sun Zenith.
Oh, guess we're going back. Goddamn, hold on. This isn't my deck tech. I'm gonna hit. I'm sorry. Excuse the fuck out of me. Yeah.
As I stated previously, you're gonna be a little bit of a bitch and say draw, go. You're gonna draw your card. You're gonna pass the turn.
Okay.
What you do, you wait. Nobody casts anything you need to counter. Nobody casts anything you need to kill. You just Blue Sun Zenith for 5. It goes back in your library. You draw it again later in the game. Do the same thing.
Mm-hmm.
So it's a lot of people think that this is kind of a one-time card draw effect, and it kind of is because of the variance. But realistically, you can get this 2, maybe 3 times in a game.
Yeah, depending on how much you're drawing. I've definitely seen it more than once.
Yeah.
It is absolutely not out of the realm of possibility to get it more than once.
Cunning Rhetoric isn't technically a draw spell, but it's giving you more access to cards, so I'm calling it a draw spell.
It's
you
card
don't
advantage.
control me.
It's advantage.
2 and a black. Whenever an opponent attacks you with or one of your planeswalkers, which there is none. It was really hard not to put any Ashiok in this deck.
Yeah, I think I would have. The only
Ashiok that would have been worth it was the War of the Spark one.
Yeah, the one where he's got the static ability of exiling stuff, and then you can exile each player's graveyard. Yeah, that might, depending on your meta and how much graveyard stuff you have going on, that might be an ad.
The final few cuts were very hard for this deck.
I believe you. Yeah, it was about 150 cards when he started.
Fuck it. There's 35 cards, 35 lands. Could only add an Ashiok.
Jeez. Shame on you.
It exiles whenever a player attacks you or Planeswalker, you exile the top card of that player's library, and you can play that card for as long as it remains exiled, and you can blah 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 any color.
So you can cast their Cultivate, you can cast their Swords to Plowshares.
This gives you access to colors you don't have, which if you're playing white, gives you access to more removal. If they're playing green, gives you access to ramp. If it gives it red, it gives you access to Itali.
Yeah, that's right.
Which helps on
Fun fact, there are no other cards in red other than Itali Primal Storm. Forgotten Creation for 4. You get a zombie horror with Skulk, which is very relevant because fuck you. At the beginning of your upkeep, you may discard all the cards in your hand, which is incredibly based. And if you do, you draw that many cards.
It's a little wheel for yourself. You're not actually ever gaining any cards on this, but it's letting you dig through that deck.
You do get to see a lot more cardboard. Dread Presence, for the same mana but in black, you get a Nightmare, which is awesome. Whenever a swamp hits your battlefield, pick one of the options. Either draw, lose a life, or this thing's going to deal 2 damage to any target and you gain 2 life.
The spot removal is, I think, a little bit undervalued on Dread Presence, but he's really here to draw a card. You're sacrificing a little bit of efficiency for the Nightmare or the Horror creature type, but that's what it do, baby.
It is pretty cool to drop a land on the battlefield and then shock somebody's Planeswalker.
I've never had a bad Dread Presence.
Yeah.
It's always worked out great for me.
Great mono black pick. Let's talk about Grazilaxx Illithid Scholar.
Great pronunciation on that shit.
Ooh, thank you.
It is one of the... This might be one, as Mitch from the Commander Quarters might say, might be the golden pig of the deck.
Yeah, he's the golden squid anyway.
Golden squid. He says whenever a creature you control becomes blocked, you may return it to its owner's hand. Whenever one or more creatures you control deal combat damage to a player, draw a card.
He's also on a 3/2 body, so...
That's a horror.
He sure is.
You attack with your Ravenous Chupacabra. Do they want you to draw a card? Or do they want you to be able to kill something again and exile their...
Boom.
Same thing with Umbris. I mean, Umbris you're probably just going to kill anyways. You're probably just going to swing through and not worry about him dying anyways. But your small Ravenous Chupacabras, your mutated creatures, which is actually kind of cool. Anything like that, bam, he just makes better.
Then we have Gravestorm for black. It's an enchantment. Rip Horley, who is the artist, he put his name on the grave, so that's pretty based. At the beginning of your upkeep, target opponent can remove a card in their graveyard from the game. If they don't, you get to draw a card.
If they don't have cards in the graveyard,
you're drawing cards.
If they have something that, if you're playing your, gosh darn it, what's his name?
Grizzly Bears?
Yes. If you're playing your Gigan deck, you don't necessarily want to exile your stuff.
Yeah, I don't really
want to draw a card. If you want this card, pick it up immediately. It's climbing up in prices. It has it for the last 2-3 weeks because of Umbris. He's very good, very fun. There's a couple different versions of it, but I think it's a really neat deck tech. You either get Graveyard Hate,
yeah, it's a win-win.
or you draw.
You're either pumping your commander or drawing. Mindleecher, another mutate card from one of the precon decks. It was the Sultai mutate. So you pay 6, right? You get a Nightmare. It has mutate for 5. Now, when this creature mutates, you exile the top card of each opponent's library face down. Then you can look and play those cards as long as they remained exiled.
They let you play lands, which is nice.
Yes.
The only bad thing is it does not change the colors. It does not change the color of your mana to be able to cast
so you're gonna have a hard time with that.
What's the other thing it has?
Flying.
Umbris has flying, baby.
Kumena's Awakening
is a very saucy tech that I have found myself putting in more and more decks.
Mm-hmm. It's good.
For 2 blue, Ascend. If you control 10 or more permanents, you get the City's Blessing for the rest of the game. You can't lose it. At the beginning of your upkeep, each player draws a card. If you have the City's Blessing, instead only you draw a card. You're more than fine with giving them a couple cards because you're going to get to 10 permanents so fast on your board. I was talking to you the other day about this card. I'm going to tell them about it.
Because both of us were playing it at the same time.
Yeah.
So everybody was drawing like 4 cards a turn. Because I was playing my no strings attached group up.
In our meta, we normally get to 10 lands on the battlefield. Mm-hmm. You're going to ascend. You're going to draw them cards. Yeah. And if anything, it's going to put people in your good graces because you're giving them a couple extra
Really
cards.
Cool card in casual Magic. It might help mitigate some of the hate you're getting from being the asshole playing Dimir Control.
Yes, exactly.
We're trying to find a way to make it fun. Oh, boy.
Phyrexian Rager is one of the best cards.
One of the best. Get back over here. I need to talk about this Sire Stagnation. What the fuck? You pay 6. You get a Devoid Eldrazi. That means it has no color. Just like me and Dakota don't see color as well. It's a 5/7.
I'm colorblind.
Whenever a land enters the battlefield, does that mean that you only play black and white decks?
Yes.
Yeah, based. So land hits the battlefield under an opponent's control. They exile mill 2 cards, and then you get to draw 2 cards. That's huge.
I need to be honest with our 20 subscribers here.
Yeah.
I did not have this in the original version of the deck.
Do we have 20 subscribers?
Yeah, I think so.
Fuck yeah, dude. Let's go.
Maybe we don't. We're going to use the same number you said earlier. I need to shout out to the 4. I need to be honest with the 4 subscribers I have. I did not have this in the original deck. Because you read Sire Stagnation, you kind of just stop after the exiles the top 2 cards. You don't realize that you get to draw 2 cards every time. This is a great freaking card draw spell in this deck, in any Dimir deck. He's gonna get killed pretty quick. That's why we have counter spells.
He needs to get killed. Absolutely.
And that's one turn that they don't kill Umbris.
Yes.
Phyrexian Rager, he's very cheap. 2 and a black for a 2/2. When he enters the battlefield, you draw a card and you lose a life.
Cool.
He's a horror. He's not that great. He just kind of fills a role. Plus, you have some blink stuff. You have some sacrifice stuff. Makes it work.
Here we are.
Expedition Map, you may not call a card draw spell. I do because you're putting a card from your library into your hand, and that's what I consider the most important thing about a card draw spell.
Mm-hmm. It's not necessarily card advantage.
It's not necessarily card advantage, very true, but I do believe it's a draw spell.
Mm-hmm.
You pay 2 and sacrifice it to search your library for a land card, reveal it, and put it in your hand.
What land could that possibly be?
This part's called Foreshadowing.
Umbris. Wait, what? We're not going into the...
No.
Oh, that's later in the deck?
Yeah.
Uh-huh. Oh, what'd you say, Ange? Uh-huh, okay. Sorry, boys, I'm about to out of here, but don't worry. It's a bad thing. Because every little thing is gonna be alright. That's not how you sing that song, man. DreamWorks Shark Tale. Swiftfoot Boots for 2.
Lightning Greaves for 2. You kind of know what they fucking do, man.
They equip for cheap and they give you protection. Next slide.
And haste. Loxodon Warhammer.
Probably the greatest card in the deck.
Tyler would not let us do this podcast episode unless I put Loxodon Warhammer in the deck.
I was holding him hostage.
He's come to the point where it's only Loxodon Warhammer in a deck. I have seen him build a deck with 99 Loxodon Warhammers, and you're like, that's illegal. He pulled out a gun. What the fuck am I going to do about it?
That's right. It's 95 Loxodon Warhammers.
5 lands.
One jeweled lotus, an ashling, a soul ring, and an inspiring statuary.
It says equipped creature gets +3/+0, has trample and lifelink. Trample damage is important.
Yes.
Lifelink keeps you alive longer.
Because you're going to be taking damage from being the asshole that you are playing Dimir Control. So this is going to help mitigate it a little bit.
Sword of Sinew and Steel is more almost of a removal spell than it is a Voltron spell. But it does give you black and red.
Yep.
And gives it +2/+2, which is nice. But it says if it deals combat damage to a player, destroy one target planeswalker and one target artifact. The nice thing is it says up to, so you don't have to. If they don't have a planeswalker, you can't fail to do this. You just say, I'm not choosing planeswalker, choosing an artifact. If they do have a planeswalker, fuck them up.
And you know what's nice? It can deal damage to any player. It could deal damage to player A and then blow up stuff on player B's board.
Exactly. Which is a little bit of politicking, if you wanted to.
Like, hey, let me get my boy in through here, and I'll get rid of their what? What's
their planar bridge?
Yeah, get rid of their planar bridge. The only thing I could think of for the life of me was Paradox Engine, and I'm like, that's banned. That's not relevant.
Falthus Shadowcat Familiar, because every Nightmare Horde needs his cat.
Yeah, that's right.
He is a Nightmare Cat that gives your commanders Menace and Death Touch.
And you don't need to have a partner.
Nope.
You can't do it. But it is a 2/2 that's going to give you the groove to get through with the move. Let's talk about the fear of the re-ETBs.
Most of our hordes have some kind of... That's not probably true. About half of our hordes have some kind of enter the battlefield effect, including Umbris. Let's see how we can abuse that. Thassa Deep Going, Conjurer's Closet, End Step.
Yeah, no...
Boink a card.
Thassa might not be a horror, but she is a whore. Let's go. Deadass Navigator.
If you don't know what this card does, it sneezes and combos with about half the cards that have ever been printed in Magic.
Yeah.
You Soul Parrot, it makes both of the creatures extremely hard to kill. It makes both of them very abusable.
Yep. Put this card in your Gyruda/Gigan decks and blink to your heart's content and flush the board. Sword of Hearth and Home for 3. Equipped creature gets +2/+2, has protection from green and white, which is awesome because that is some tier 1 removal colors. Now, whenever the equipped creature hits a player, exile up to one target creature you own, not necessarily control. A great way to get something back if it's stolen. Then search your library for a basic land card. Put both of those cards onto the battlefield under your control, then shuffle.
So not only is it ramp, it's blink. Ghostly Flicker. This was Spellskite's deck slot.
Yep.
Cut him.
Cut Spellskite.
Ghostly Flicker for 1 more mana. You exile 2 artifact creatures and lands you control, then return those cards to the battlefield under your control.
I love that it's an instant speed.
It's instant. It's protection. They try to kill your Umbris. Nope. Blinked.
Oh.
Umbris Fear of Bangers. This is the cream de la cream of the deck.
Yep.
The best, most fun, the kind of funniest cards in the deck.
These cards are much like Don't Fear the Reaper by Blue Oyster Cult, which is also a banger.
I have a need
for more cowbell. Sublime Epiphany. Great art.
Normally, this card wouldn't go into the banger section. Really didn't have a better home for it. And then I kind of started to get thinking about this card. For 6 mana, you can counter a spell.
Cool.
Counter an activated ability.
Okay.
Return your Ravenous Chupacabra.
Okay.
Make a copy of your Phyrexian Rager.
Okay. Or your Sorrow Stagnation.
Draw a card. Next thing you know, for 6 mana, you got an Umbris trigger. You countered a spell. You drew a card, and you get a horror in your hand that you can recast for another Umbris trigger.
Yep.
I'll tell you what, for 6 mana, I'll take that deal every day of the week.
The hard part is waiting to use this to counter a spell. Because you're already like, I want to do it.
Correct. Worst comes to worst, you just use it for the last 4 or whatever.
Whiff on some of them. It's worth it if you hit like 3.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. These are some cool old texts that we got right here. Crumbling Sanctuary for 5.
For each 1 damage that would be dealt to a player, that player instead removes the top card of his or her library from the game.
Cool. Very, very cool.
Tell you what, you want to make an Umbris a 2-shot? Crumbling Sanctuary.
Just start exile milling their deck.
Yep.
Olamog would be so proud. Mourner's Shield. It's a 4-mana artifact. It's got imprint. So when it enters, pull a card in any graveyard from the game. Now, once you have that on the battlefield, you pay 2, tap this sucker. Prevent all damage that would be dealt this turn by a source of your choice that shares a color with the imprinted card.
You take a look around. Who's playing the most colors?
Yep.
Exile their Sultai card.
Yep.
They try to attack you with a Geshath. I meant
that
Galton.
works because it's green.
I meant Galton.
Oh.
They attack you with a Galton. Fog. Next turn, Fog. They're done. Any decks that focus around combat damage, they can't do nothing.
It also does exile one card.
It does, baby.
It
It makes Umbris 2/2.
Yeah, it makes them bigger. What the fuck is going on here?
Hellscale Caretaker is a fun little horde.
Okay.
For 3 and a black, he's a 1/1. Not that great of a rate. But you can tap him to sacrifice a creature, return target creature card from your graveyard to the battlefield. Activate this ability only during your upkeep.
That's slick.
You know the best thing to have? A Phyrexian Rager in the battlefield and a Ravenous Chupacabra in the graveyard. Because you just keep trading them. You just keep trading them every turn.
Goodness.
You're blinking. You're getting some sort of value from your horror. You're exiling with Umbris, and it's repeatable. Love it. Great card. It's like 25 cents. Why is it a rare in a Masters pack? Don't know.
Fantastic. Plague Spitter for 3.
At the beginning of your upkeep, Plague Spitter deals 1 damage to each creature and each player. When it is put in the graveyard for play, it does the same thing. I'll tell you what. This card's probably not that great. But I'll tell you what, this is the hardest card for me to cut. It was from 105 to 101. I looked at this card every time, and I just couldn't do it because of how many people play tokens, how many people play elves, how many play little stupid-ass 1/1s with value that just says, fuck them.
Yep.
And technically, you make the game last 40 turns. As long as you have more life, you'll win.
Oh, we finally got there.
This is the Chekhov's gun going off portion of the episode.
I don't understand that reference.
Because we paid attention to a card. We showed a card that did not show its payoff. Chekhov's gun says in a play that if you show a gun, it has to go off in the second act if you showed it in the first act.
Oh.
It's a way to not waste people's time.
Gotcha.
Unsculpatory information.
Huh, I didn't know that. Cool.
Yeah.
Minor desert sub-theme.
And why would we have a minor desert sub-theme, Tyler?
Because, and I think it's on the next slide.
It is.
Okay, I'm going to go right to it. Boom, Scavenger Grounds. This is an amazing card in this deck. Now, Scavenger Grounds by itself, if you have to drop it, pay 2, tap it, and sacrifice a desert, you can get rid of itself and exile all cards from all graveyards. Boom. You're pumping up your boy. You're preventing graveyard shenanigans. But if we go back a slide, we have more deserts. And you can put even more in if you want to.
There's what we saw, 20 of them.
Something like that. You can put in a lot of deserts. And then all of a sudden, you use your expedition map that is our Chekhov's gun, I guess is what that's called. And go get your Scavenger Grounds. Sacrifice in the top left your Desert of the Mindful. And then blast them with the Scavenger Grounds. Exile all graveyards. More stuff gets into graveyards, whether it be from, I don't know, somebody traumatizing themselves. You just start exiling, and doing it over and over again and pumping your commander with that.
The desert, go back to one. The Dunes of the Dead I love because you can sacrifice it and make a zombie.
Yeah, there's the tech. There's the secret tech, baby. You get 2/2 zombie. Ooh, more utility lands.
Hive of the Eye Tyrant. If you control 2 other lands, it enters the battlefield tapped. Okay. Taps to add a black. But you can pay 4 until end of turn. It becomes a 3/3 black beholder with menace. And says whenever this creature attacks, exile target card from defending player's graveyard. It's still a land.
That's pretty slick. Nice little blocker there if you've got nothing better going on.
And you want to have some fucking shenanigans mutate onto that bitch.
Oh.
I'm not for sure how that fucking works, but I know it's crazy. I think it keeps its creature types.
Huh. I think it would stop becoming a black beholder until the end of the turn. I don't know how that would work.
I don't know how it works.
I don't know. Ask somebody smarter than us. It can't be that hard. Rogue's Passage.
Classic Voltron
You
card.
already know what the fuck this thing does. It's a colorless land. You can pay 4, tap it. Target creature can't be blocked this turn. Send your big-ass horror straight down a hallway and right next to the homeless battered women's shelter to go shadow boxing. Next section.
He has the fear of budgets. This total deck cost is only $229.73.
That's not bad.
Holy cow, $229.73 depending on your point of view. This deck was $300. We cut cards, we added cards, got it down to $229.
Yep.
Sword of the Animist, all the swords you can take out.
The swords of X and Y, you can blast those suckers out of here.
Thoth is $15, $20.
You could drop the Gravestorm, but it's a really good card in this deck.
there's ways to make this deck more budget if you want to. At the end of the day, you can make this deck as budget as you want to.
Yeah.
This is the best version that we came up with for $229.73. I think you'd have yourself a very fun deck.
Yep. You could just slap basics in here, and you could take your ramp package and turn it into a far more basic ramp package too. Forgetting some of the talisman and signets that you can drop in there. So.
But that is our episode. Like and subscribe.
Or don't. I mean, we're not your fucking mom. We're not your dad. We're not going to tell you how to live your life unless you're being wrong about it, and then we will.
But that is our episode. Please subscribe or don't.
Yeah.
Don't be gay.
I'm not going to say please. Just fucking do it, asshole.
All I'm going to say is those who don't subscribe, that's pretty cringe.
Yeah, that's
pretty cringe. We're all about based here.
Yes, incredibly so.
Jesus loves you. Have a good day.
Yeah, make sure that you lift at least 3 times a week.
Yeah, Dakota, you piece of shit. We're gonna have the fancy look how.
I'm gonna cut the.
You're gonna cut this, okay?
I can, or I can not if you don't want me to.
Oh fuck it, man! If they stayed past this point, congrats. You've entered the ASMR portion of the episode. You can stop it at any time. You don't have to let my degeneracy keep going. Like now. I'm in this here now. Now I'm on top of you.
Dakota, that's not how that fucking works. That microphone only takes in one direction.
Fuck you guys.